I've waited 11 years to marry Jeff. That is my impersonation of Anissa. Child, where did they find these people? Where they be at? They're so colorful and they're entertaining me every Friday night, which allows me to bring you guys these reviews of Love After Lockup. And tonight's episode is called The Halfway Handoff. And y'all gonna see why. Halfway house handing off. So let's get into it, okay? So we start the episode off. We see Lisa, and she's waking up in the hotel with her wig, child, with her synthetic wig, and it's already nappy. That's how you know it's synthetic, because it shouldn't be nappy already. So it's on the bed. Lisa waking up like, child, what happened last night? Stan the man was tripping. Lisa says that Stan doesn't understand where she's coming from, and he can't understand why she's hurting. Her kids are hurting, therefore she is hurting. So Stan, nobody cares about your groin right now. Lisa's hurting. Feel her pain, okay? Then we see Stan, he outside his house, child, cleaning off his car with a duster from the inside, and his friend pulls up. And he's like, I've been calling you. I've been texting you. Where you been? You know what I'm saying? And he's like, what you been doing? The boom boom? I guess that's old people slang for sex. And he's like, what you been doing? The boom boom? And Stan's like, yeah, kind of wore it out from last night. Stan, please. Ain't nothing going on last night, but you lost your mind. You made Lisa almost pop off on you because you was acting crazy. He still had his pajamas on. He was like, yeah, I'm a little worn out. Stan, please. Stan want everybody to think he the man with his toupee on. And it's that early in the morning. Bye. So he says he's recovering from last night. It's the delusion for me. So his friend sits down with him, and Stan tells his friend that basically he called Lisa a boo-boo mom. Lisa pretty much didn't take well to that, as no woman would. So his friend is basically like, you need to apologize. You was really tripping. Like, her child called her. He was in distress. She worried. Sounds about right to me. Stan was really acting a damn fool last night. So then we see Lisa. She's about to get her hair did, okay? So her friend basically asked her, like, what happened? And Lisa's like, I got my hair pulled out in a fight. Yeah, sure, Lisa. I don't know why she keeps saying that, because if she really got her hair pulled out, well, maybe it was months ago, because I was going to say, if she really got her hair pulled out, wouldn't it be patches of hair still missing? But, child, I don't know. I think she just wanted to cut her hair. Like, you ain't got to explain none of these people. Lisa sits down and she gets the most choppiest extensions I ever seen. Baby, why would you put them type of extensions in her hair? She just needed, she didn't have nothing to cover up the extension. She didn't have anything to cover up the extensions. So it looked crazy. Why would you put that in her hair? Child, that, whoever she is, beautician, she wouldn't have got paid that day messing up people's hair. Anyway, Stan the man called Lisa with a half-ass apology. Not even an apology. He was just like, well, let's have a do-over. Let's start over. And Lisa's like, I'll see. Child, I'll see his ass, but you gonna see, because you like that coin. Moving on, we see Doante and Nicole. And Nicole's on the phone with Tia. She's like, I got my hair all done. I'm looking hot. And I want to see you. Like, can you come out tonight? And Tia's like, I don't know. I'm going to try. I really miss you. Blah, blah, blah. Sure. And Dante's coming in with her laundry, as he better. He better have her dry cleaning in tip-top shape. Dante walks in. Her friend's like, oh, that's her laundry. Oh, I'll take it. Yeah, because your friend is back there doing dirt. And if Dante go back there, it's going to be some problems, possibly. Nicole comes out. She's in her red dress, and she's like, do you like my hair? And Dante's like, bird, eyes all big, looking stupid. Something. Yeah, I love it. I love it. Anyway, Dante always looked like he wants to devour Nicole, and I'm not quite sure why, but then again, he's probably tired of Nicole Jr., not doing anything back to him when he's doing stuff to it. Moving along. They walk into a restaurant because Nicole says that she hasn't been out in the nighttime, I guess for a night out, since she's been 18. So she ready to get out and get it popping. So they're walking into a restaurant and Dante's like, hold up. He got to make sure he open the door. And Nicole's like, yeah, you better open that door. So then my favorite character this whole episode, yes, I said character, was Derek. He came in and laid down what needed to be laid down, and I appreciated him in this episode. Him and his bald head did me justice this episode. So he comes in to meet Nicole, and Dante's like, yeah, I know Derek wants to meet the famous Nicole. Ugh. Dante says that, Derek's just a hater because, look what I got. You know what I'm saying? Who wouldn't hate on me? Everybody wouldn't hate. Nobody was really caring. Nobody has anything to really hate on. So immediately Derek's like, yeah, okay, so you're Nicole. I got some questions for you. And Dante's like, yo, be easy on my girl. Derek's basically like, I don't give a damn what you talking about, because I'm about to ask her whatever I want to ask her. Thank you, Derek. Have a seat. Get comfortable. Because, yeah, she needs to be asked some questions, because Dante's in La La Land. So he sits down and he's basically like, what are your intentions with my friend? And she's like, well, I really like your friend and I'm going to be here no matter what. Derek's like, yeah, whatever. And her friend is like, in jail, she really would talk about Deante all the time. Like, she would just talk about, stop the cab. Because you was just at the salon telling her to call Tia. So anyway, Derek's like, I don't believe neither one of y'all. Thank you, Derek. Good. I don't either. So Nicole starts looking around and Derek's like, what you looking for? Who you looking for? And she's like, I'm just looking for a friend. And he's like, who? And she's like, my friend Tia, or something to that effect. Child, I zoned out. And he was like, who's Tia? Is this somebody you slept with? And she was like, yeah, maybe. And at this point, Nicole is drinking, so she's spilling the beans, baby. She went from she ain't had sex in 2 years to I only slept with her once to it probably was 4 or 5 girls I done been with in the pen to maybe it was 6 girls to, oh, wait, I told Deante I ain't had sex in 2 years. Let me stop talking to his bald head friend because he making me spill too much of my beans. Let me get up and get out of here. So she gets up and get out of there because the block was hot. She was getting hot. She goes outside to call her lover, Tia, because that's her real man at this point. Tia is her man. She ain't got time for Dante. So Dante follows Nicole outside and she's on the phone with Tia like, oh my God, you can't make it? Oh, God. So I have to sit here and look at all teeth and eyes the rest of the night? So she hangs up and Dante's like, who you on the phone with? Who is that? Trying to sound assertive, child. Ain't nobody scared of you, Dante. Walk up looking crazy. Talking about, you got me out here looking stupid in front of my friend. You've been looking stupid since about 4 weeks ago when we started watching the show. You've been looking stupid. So Dante's like, you, who is this girl? You know what I'm saying? You're trying to buck up. Child, I wouldn't even listen to him. I was doing something else. So when they were outside, Nicole basically admits that, yeah, she slept with Tia before. I mean, they've been rubbing cats, woo, woo, woo. But, I mean, it was before him. But you've been talking to him for 1.5 years and you only been in jail 2 years. So when you was talking to Dante, you stopped all rubbing of the cattage with her and just said, Dante, only Dante. But when you got in the car, you told Dante you ain't had sex in 2 years and you felt uncomfortable. Nicole, it's all falling apart for you, pimp. You got to get all your stuff in line because you got to keep him in check. He's the trick, okay? Then we see Brittany and Ray. So Ray calls Brittany. She's in her closet getting things together. Woo, woo, woo. And he calls and says that he'll be coming home tomorrow. He's in the halfway house and he's been there about 2 months. Okay. And Brittany's like, Daddy's coming home. And Ray's like, yeah. Ray really looked like he'd been through something. Like, he wasn't even excited to come home. He was just like, yeah, I'll be there tomorrow. Shit, calm down. Ray was like, he can't go down the street for the next 2.5 months. So he basically got to be in the house for the next 2.5 months. Brittany says, oh my God, who wouldn't want somebody who can't leave the house? He can't even go out the front door. I wouldn't. He gonna always be in your face, girl. She is clingy as hell and insecure as hell. Damn. He is gonna always be there, Britt. Why would you want that? Let him be. Let him go off. It's okay, because after a week or two, after a month, you're gonna be like, ugh, can he go somewhere? Yeah. Because ain't no peeing that good where you gonna want him around all the time. But you'll see. So Britt says that they made it fun when he was locked up. They did video chats. She bought a ring light. She got some toys, etc., etc. But she hasn't done anything in, I think, 2 years, I think she said. Something like that. Ray doesn't know that her family isn't feeling him. He's under the impression that they probably want to meet him when he gets there, but they don't want to meet him. They don't care. And Brittany hasn't told Ray, so she really playing in his face. Like, why don't you tell that man what it is? Because he already coming home stressed. He don't need one more thing to be surprised about. Next, we see Doug and Rachel. They getting ready to go somewhere, child. They laying in the bed, and he's like, yeah, we gonna go here, woo, woo, woo. And Rachel's like, no, you can't be at the house past 5 o'clock. Remember, your PO said 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., no weekends. And Doug's like, nah, I don't want to hear none of that. I don't give about none of that. He don't care. So Doug's trying to call his PO, and he basically like, okay, you ain't picking up? Bet. Here go a little message. I'll be at my daddy's house. Find me if you can. And hangs up the phone. Rachel's like, no, Doug, we can't leave. We can't go. Doug's like, I ain't trying to hear that. I break rules. Remember, I told you last episode, if he want to be the rule breaker, I'm going to be the rule maker, and I'm going to break the rules. I don't want little Dougie to, but I'm going to break the rules. Doug is something else, y'all. I don't know what he doing. So Rachel's like, I'm nervous. Doug is not supposed to be gone on the weekend. And Doug wants to go see his father, because it's the day before Father's Day, and he says that his father has been going through some health issues. So they all get in the car, and little Dougie, the reasonable thinker here, he's like, you guys seem stressed. Child, the children always know. Let the children lead them. And they were stressed, because Rachel was driving, looking scared, looking over her shoulder like, is the police behind me? Yeah, don't be scared now. You wanted a thug? Ain't that what you wanted, Rachel? You say you want a thug. Don't be scared now. Shawty want to ride with me. We could get low. Don't be scared now, baby, because it's time to go. It's go time. So they pull up and Wittacoochee, Georgia. Child, wherever they at in Michigan. And Doug says that he has a big family and they all live in a small town. Rachel says that Doug's family has always made her feel welcome. She has met them before and they're just like a good time. So Doug pulls up, and at first he was hiding. He didn't want the family to see him as he was pulling up. He gets out the car. He's like, what's up, yo, son of a B? And he was talking to his father. So moving along, we go to a commercial because we need one. We come on back and we're on Anissa and Jeff. Jeff has been in the halfway house. And he called Anissa and said that he had a day pass for 3 hours. And he's trying to go to the men's store, baby. He's trying to get fresh. So Anissa says that maybe they can have a little sex in the fitting room. Maybe he can flip her around. That's gross, Anissa. I don't want to picture that. I'd rather just not. So then Jeff calls. And Jeff is like, oh, baby, I got some bad news. I can't see you today. And Anissa's like, why? And he's like, well, I got to get an ankle bracelet on. And they told me they just won't have time today. Anissa's like, I'm frustrated. I just get so frustrated. When she says frustrated, she's talking about sexually, not just regularly frustrated. She's actually a combo of both. Bad combination. Jeff asks Anissa for $100. He's like, you got a couple dollars though? No, I can't see you, but do you have some change? Anissa's like, well, you spent the money I gave you already? He's like, yeah, baby, things is expensive in here. You know what I'm saying? And she's like, well, yeah, I got a couple dollars. And he like, okay, good. Leave it on the picnic table. Don't look both ways. Raise your hand up. Give me a peace sign. And don't let nobody see you after you leave. She's like, well, I just gotta do this like I'm doing some type of drug deal. I mean, I can't even see him and give him his stuff. Yeah, Anissa, it's a hot mess, but this is the life you chose, so don't complain now. At first, when he had said, drop it off, don't say nothing, don't look both ways, do the ooh, when you get out there, I thought he wasn't there. But child, we see him walking out after she done left and got his whatnots. I guess they just couldn't exchange. I don't know. That's weird. Anyway, Anissa gets back in the car and she's like, I'm sexually frustrated. Ugh. Jeff, just please give her some of that meat so she could be okay. It's been a while for her. Moving on, we see Brittany and Ray. Back with Britt, and Ray. Brittany's getting her makeup done and she says that she loves that her man is going to be home all the time. Confinement. You know why? Because she's controlling and insecure. But most women want their men to be working or just out of their face so they could do stuff they want to do after a while, Well, maybe they're in the honeymoon stage. Well, yeah, I guess they are still. So maybe that's why. I don't know. But it's giving, don't leave the house. She's actually happy he's on house arrest. You happy because your man on house arrest, child? Okay. So she's on her way to go get him. And she's excited. She says that she's excited to see him grow up. Okay. She's excited to see a grown man grow up. Okay. Therapy could be useful for everybody. You know what I'm saying? Even me. Therapy couldn't hurt, because if you want to see a grown man grow up that you're trying to be with and build, baby, he should already be grown. But nevertheless, she's waiting and she's like, I see him. And she's smiling outside like, I got my man, finally. Baby, this was the funniest part of the whole episode. Grandma pulls up, rolling on 20 folds, baby. All you see is her little head with them salt and pepper cornrows going to the back. Like, yes, baby, I'm about to get my grandson. What do you mean? I'm here to get him. Brittany's like, I didn't know his grandma was coming. Yeah, she's there. So you done got your makeup done for nothing, basically. Good thing you ain't put on no sexy dress because grandma's coming to get her grandson. Period. Moving along. We see Stan, the man, and Lisa. Stan is combing his toupee, getting ready to go meet Lisa because he got to apologize, okay? He has done wrong and he know what time it is. He got reservations at a restaurant. He's waiting on Lisa. He sit down and he's waiting on Lisa. Lisa walks in with her boots, her black dress, and baby, that hair. Everything was good from the feet up until you got to that hair. And that headband, Lisa, I like you, but I ain't going to go too hard on you. But let me just say, that hair was choppier than a Texas DJ. Chopped and screwed. You need to get it together. Of course, Stan the man liked it. He's like, Lisa, you look fabulous. She's like, yeah, I know. What's new? He's like, I didn't mean what I said. And she's like, yeah, you talked to me like I was a dog. And he's like, well, I drove 500 miles and I didn't sleep. So that's why I called you a shitty mom. And she's like, okay, that's not making sense. But you got the coin, so I'm going to deal with you anyway. Because, baby, right now, that room was a lot of money. And you're an old geezer, so I'll use your coin. So she accepts his apology, and they move along. Stan is now so moved in every way by Lisa's hair. He's really creepy. All right, this whole scene right here, this whole moment was creep fest. Stan says, Your hair looks phenomenal. And he's like, I want to get to know you really good. Okay. Then he's like, I want to take you back to my place in a more comfortable setting. Let's go right now. We can go hold each other. This is so gross. This is what old courting is. It was nasty. I didn't want no parts of it. I felt like, cameras, just move away now. Y'all could have left after Lisa accepted that apology. I don't need to see Stan get all hot and bothered by Lisa's choppy hair. Like, please. Please. So then we see Doante and Nicole. Dante's outside screaming, child, because he just like Anissa. He's sexually frustrated. He's like, why is it so hard for you to spend one night with me? They outside. Oof, Jesus. The ghetto. The ghetto. And she's like, I just don't feel comfortable. And Dante's like, but you feel comfortable spending my money. Well, duh, Dante. It ain't tricking if you got it. Nicole's like, well, you wanted to spend that money on me, so I didn't tell you to spend the money on me. Dante's basically begging for the ill nana right now. Like, he's begging in so many words. He's like, please, just give me the ill nana. Just please, please. And Nicole's like, well, I guess if we go home tonight, I'll consider it. And he's just like, okay, good. At least I got to consider it, baby. They go back in and do a little fake ass cheers with Derek and her friend. And Nicole tells Derek she hopes that their next conversation can be a little bit more mature. Derek's like, you'll be gone in 2 months, so child, don't worry about it. I know that's right, Derek. Hit her where it hurts. Nicole's like, I'll be here in 3 years. Nicole, no, you won't. Just stop the cab, please. Derek's right with this one. I like him. The first episode, he was real. This episode, he back and giving more realness. So they get back home. To Dante's home, child, because Nicole ain't living there. Dante's like, come on in, queen. And they sit down on the couch, and he's like, why don't you come over here, pretty little feet? Ugh. This is uncomfortable, too. This whole thing just made me squeal. It just made me just, ugh. Just like, ugh. It was so uncomfortable. But anyway, he was like, come on over here to your man. And he picks her up and puts her on his lap. And he was like, what you trying to do, man? And she's like, nothing. And he's like, you can sit on my face. And she's like, oh my God, Dante. And he's like, I'm hungry. She's like, I bet you are. Right, sis, I said the same thing. And she's like, I think we should wait. Nicole's like, I'm going to sleep in the guest room and you can sleep in your room over there on the other side of the house, because no. So Dante goes to his room. Nicole goes to her guest room. And when they do, Nicole's like, I like Dante. He's scrawny, but he got a little muscles. And he has really pretty eyes and teeth. Baby, that's all you see when you look at him. I'm sure you think all I see when I look at Dante is big-ass, bubbled, buck-ass eyes and teeth. So you can say they're pretty, but that's all you see. At least they both white, because they stick out, literally. So they go to their rooms separately, and Dante's like, well, let me pull out Trusty Dusty, baby, Nicole Jr., because she is Mr. Reliable. She never fails me. And while he's pulling out little Nicole Jr. to go ahead and shoot up the torso, Nicole gets a phone call from Zach, her real true love. Zach and Tia, baby, that's who Nicole wants. So she's in Dante's house on the phone that I'm sure Dante bought, talking to Zach, her ex, while Dante's in the room pleasuring himself. Come on, pimp. Nicole is a pimp. You can't beat it. You got a trick, like Megan Thee Stallion said. None of these tricks is getting nothing. He's a trick. Nicole don't care about nothing. She gets off the phone with Zach, gets cozy in Dante's bed, not his bed, but the bed he bought, on sheets that Dante bought, gets comfortable and dreams of Zach and Tia on both sides of her, making her a sandwich, if you know what I mean. So, yeah, she sleeps comfortably in her bed after she just performed PIMP duties all day. Your girl is exhausted. Come on, Nicole. Then we see Doug and Rachel, okay? Everybody runs up to Doug. They hug Doug. They're happy to have Doug back home. Doug's father is like, oh my God, you back? How long you been here? Doug's like, I've been out 2 days. Let's just say that Doug's father is a handsome older guy. I know handsome when I see it. Even if it's older, even if it's, not the richest, you could tell that Doug's father used to be really good looking when he was younger. I mean, Doug's good looking. He crazy, but Doug's a good looking guy. So Doug has his nephews there, his brother, his sister. Everybody's excited to see him, woo, woo, woo. So Doug's sister is like, I don't know how long he's going to be out. And Doug tells us that his dad has liver failure. And his dad used to be a really big guy, really strong. And he's just sick. So that's why he looks the way he looks. Doug's mom is in the house and she won't come outside because she's through with Doug. She feels like he's made too many life choices that she don't agree with. And she ain't really feeling her son right now. Little Dougie is talking to his aunt, and his aunt is like, did you tell your dad about those notes you wrote about him? And little Dougie's like, don't play with me. Like, don't bring up the notes. I don't want my dad to know. Don't play with me. Or I'll pop off in here, and I'll never talk to you again. Period. So he threw his Red Bull up to his mouth. I thought it was a beer at first. I was like, little Dougie. But it wasn't a beer. I think it was some type of canned beverage. And Doug chimes in like, let me see it. You know what I'm saying? I want to see the letters. Doug, for what? You already know what they say. They probably say he can't stand your ass. And that's fair. Like, you left him. Where you been at? And Doug's other sister was like, well, she didn't treat him right the whole time you were locked up, talking about the other sister. So Doug was like, well, she's the only one that took little Dougie in. She wasn't hard on him. She just did what she needed to do. You didn't take him. I was like, oh my God, y'all, this is drama for no reason. He's your son, Doug. How about why did you get in trouble to the point where somebody even had to take him? Anyway, they argue back and forth. And Doug ends the segment by telling his sister to shut the F up, B. Child, couldn't be me. I would have went to jail that day. Me and him would have been in jail. Because who are you talking to? I don't care if you did just get out. What's up? And that's how this episode ended. I feel like that was drama. I feel like that was so unnecessary. Rachel was looking scared. She was ready to go home. She wasn't even supposed to be out there anyway. So she's very much so bothered. But, that's how it goes on Love and Lockup. If you enjoyed this review, go ahead and give me a like. If you are not subscribed yet, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and comment what you thought of tonight's episode. Child, it was drama. It was unnecessary, but necessary. Good like last week. It's continuing to be good drama. Okay, tell me what scene really had you like, oh my God. Until then, I will see you on my next video. Ta-ta.